Hey there, it is still May 20th, 2015, Wednesday. First part of the review already went up. It is the DC Comics Convergence review. This part 2, is of the Marvel books, which this week are mostly Secret Wars, but we are starting with Moon Knight, issue 15. Seems to be a start of a new arc, probably only one or two books. Arcs in this book tend to be short, but this one starts off with quite the hook. It is called Boogeyman, or I guess Bogeyman, based on the spelling. But we open with Moon Knight bloodied, beaten, kind of crawling down an alleyway, and we are then shown kind of how he got in that position. We're shown the him fighting against the boogeyman, while in the present he's being helped out by strangers who turn out to be ghosts. Almost everyone in this story is a ghost who is in Moon Knight, or at least that's how it has been recently. So Moon Knight, after waking up, Mark has a bit of a bicker with Khonshu. He's asking Khonshu, "Why didn't you help me in the fight?" And Khonshu's like, "I didn't tell you to go out this time. You know, you disobeyed me. Why would I help you?" Pretty well illustrated bickering. I really like this page over here. It's just Khonshu getting mad. And then we have next night he goes out again to fight the boogeyman, and it's pretty cool. Just Moon Knight not having Khonshu on his side, he just locks and loads, gets out all of his guns and goes after the boogeyman. Before we end with a short little hook for next issue. Yeah, again, I'm really liking Moon Knight. I've liked pretty much every issue of this story since the latest, I guess, reboot. I don't know, whatever they're calling it. But yeah, every issue is great. This one, like a lot of the best issues, short, sweet, got some nice action and to the point. Just not a quick read, but like I said, to the point, very enjoyable, very good stuff. I recommend it, and pick up all the other ones while you're at it too, because what a great series! What a great series! Next up, getting into Secret Wars with going in alphabetical order, well, not really, but A-Force. The kind of all the new Secret Wars tie-in, all women, all female team of the Marvel Universe is plural. And just from the cover, you can tell who's on the team. We have She-Hulk, Medusa, Captain Marvel is over there, Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, Phoenix, who's not in the book, Scarlet Witch not in the book, Storm not in the book yet. Who's in the book, actually? Oh, she's in the book. Forget her name. Dazzler, she's in the book. She-Hulk's in the book. And yeah, so lots of people in this book, and this is issue number 1, so short little introduction to all the characters. And the way they introduce the characters, very well done. It's basically, well, we start with a bit of She-Hulk narrating, just kind of explaining how this part of the Battleworld is basically Themyscira, Paradise Island, Amazon Island, whatever you want to call it. It's not that only women live here, but it's mostly women. They're all the defenders. They keep the peace around here, and so and it is kind of a paradise. They admit. And then we get this really nice spread shot of the kind of the air patrol, I guess, it'd be called, patrolling the island. Very nice looking island. I guess it's a bit like Venice. Italy, definitely get some Italy going on there. And it's a really beautiful book all throughout. And then we follow essentially a patrol gone a bit wrong when they run into a megalodon. And then there's a short fight against the Megalodon, where we're introduced to more of these characters and their powers. Like I said, it's really cool how they do it. We have just a little narration box, name, power, and then an example of like what they're doing. So She-Hulk is the Baron or Baroness of this region, so she's in control. Captain Marvel, kicking ass. Nico, what's her name? Sister Grimm. Her name is Nico Minori. She's kind of a witch, casts spells. Then introduce and then spell. Boom. Right. Shot through the thing. As you go on, you have Dazzler. Nice profile, name, power, example of her power, all that. And then Miss America, rather. And she gets in a bit of trouble when she tosses the Megalodon over the shield, over the wall, which, is like the first rule of Battleworld is you don't cross borders or don't throw things across borders. So she gets exiled to the wall. And the rest of the story, or all the other issues, I guess Storm does appear. Storm's legs in this panel over here, and Phoenix's legs and whatever. But yeah, so they fight the Megalodon. Miss America throws it across the wall, which is against the law. And so the remainder of this book is kind of the rest of the team getting angry at She-Hulk for letting that happen, for letting Miss America be exiled. And then we're kind of getting the seeds sown of that this book is about this team of women fighting against Doctor Doom and rescuing one of their own, or at least that's the impression I'm getting from the last few pages of this book. There a lot of people, as we'll see in the other Secret Wars books that we're going to read today, they're kind of suspicious. They have a feeling, this isn't always how things were, something's wrong, and they decide to get to the bottom of this. So, yeah, interesting. I don't want to say like interesting premise. Oh, an all-woman book, how novel. But it is actually pretty novel. It's getting less novel, thankfully, an idea of an all-woman team is not as like, oh, that's so completely new. We're getting used to that, I think, as a kind of comic book culture, I guess. That's pretty cool. But for now, yeah, really cool idea. Really want to see how this pans out. Really good number one. Like Swords of Star number one. Really quick and clean introductions to everybody. And I'm guessing we'll get into the real meat of the plot, starting with issue 2. But yes, issue 1 so far really enjoyable, and I'm going to pick up issue 2. Next up is Spider-Verse number 1. This is, of course, relating to the Spider-Verse. I don't know why I can't do my hard vowels right now, but relating to the Spider-Verse event that happened just however long ago Spider-Verse was. I forget at this point, but I really enjoyed it. They're bringing it back for Secret Wars because, of course, you're having all these universes combined into one big mess of universe stew. And we open on Spider-Gwen, actually. She's been ripped out of her own universe, as have all the other spiders, and she's having a bit of a weird sort of day because as she fights these guys grave robbing, she discovers that in this universe, she is dead. So having a bit of a existential crisis there, seeing your own grave and realizing, am I alive? What's going on? So she quickly realizes not everything is as it seems. On the other end of this book, we have a couple more spiders. We find a good page of all of them. Here we go. Benjamin Braddock. Where are they? Where is he? Benjamin Braddock. UK Spider-Man. Indian Spider-Man. I forget his name. He says it later on. Where is it? I'll just get to the part where they all introduce themselves to each other. Pavateer. Yeah, so Pavateer, Spider-Man of India. Benjamin Braddock, here he is. He's in this scene too. And then, what's her face? Anya Corazon. I don't know who she is exactly, not immediately familiar with her, but she's another person with spider powers, and that's, I guess, all you really need to know at this point. And the main kind of gist of this book seems to be that all of these Spider-Men and women realize that something's not up, that there's more going on here. Why do they all have the same powers and are kind of urged to wear similar costumes and save people? Meanwhile, we're given information that Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, has gone missing. He's disappeared. Nobody knows where he is. But he's like supposed to be Spider-Man, I guess, and all these people aren't, but they still are compelled to and have all the powers and all of that. And they all basically go investigating and search for each other. Gwen breaks into Oscorp to try and see what's going on. Maybe they have some answers. And like the other spiders, Braddock and Puppeteer, they're all kind of being urged by their spider senses to find each other. So that's pretty much the gist of the story. Is all of these Spider-Men and women don't know why they're here or what they're doing, all urged to find each other and solve that question. And yeah, it seems to be kind of, I mean, a repeat of Spider-Verse, where you have this giant crossover of all the Spider people. But given this new environment, given Battleworld, where everything is kind of crashing into each other, it's kind of an excuse to do this all again and to do it in a slightly different way. One thing I did notice was that Gwen is actually, in my opinion, is a lot better written in this book than she is in her own book. She has, I guess, something to do in this book that she doesn't in her other one. In Spider-Gwen, the main Spider-Gwen book, she's just kind of bouncing around, trying to like find her place. And in this one, she's more grounded. She knows, okay, this is where I am. This is not who I am, but this is who I want to be. And I have a straight A to B to C plan that I'm going to do. And we get to see more and more of her inner monologue as she's doing this, and as she's discovering, okay, this is A, how do I get to B, all that. Yeah, I just think her character came across a lot better in this book than it has in her own, which is, I mean, not a good thing to say about her own book, if a kind of a spin-off tie-in is doing her better than her main book. But yeah, I guess that says a lot more about this book then, too, that I really enjoyed it. Of course, I'm a sucker for all things Spider-Man, but I genuinely enjoyed this book, ignoring as much bias as I can just towards Spider-Man things. I really did enjoy this, and if you like Spider-Man, I recommend you pick it up. It should be an interesting read. Next up, we have Battleworld's Ultimate End, #1, which is kind of a misnomer, actually, because when we open this book, the Ultimate Universe and the main Marvel Universe have already crashed into each other. So, yeah, it's already ended. We're not ending. It's post-Ultimate End. It's now Battleworld, just kind of Battleworld. We open with Frank Castle. I'm not sure which Frank Castle. I'm going to say 616. We open on him. It's basically saying it's time that he kills some people. And then next page is this really gorgeous spread of the 616 universe and the Ultimate Universe. Did I get that backwards? I did not. I did not get that backwards. But yeah, this great spread of the 616 universe and the Ultimate Universe all running up against each other. And on the bottom, in Frank's crosshairs, we have a number of superheroes. Most of them seem from the 616 side. So the Falcon as Captain America, Clint, Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, rather. And then a few people from, I think this is Ultimate Jessica Drew over here, but then we have 616 Scott Summers, Cyclops. So yeah, I guess he has a hit list for both sides of the universe, whatever's going on. We're then treated to an inaccurate map of the New York City subway. This train line does not exist, and this train line does not exist. I mean, I guess they do in the Marvel Universe, but in real life, this train line, this would be like a Ninth Avenue, I guess 10th Avenue subway even. It's really far west, doesn't exist. And this would be the mythical Second Avenue subway, which should have existed 60 something years ago, but never has come to fruition. Little New York inside joke there. But the rest of it's pretty correct. The rest of it's pretty accurate to its to give it the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, as I said, this deals with the aftermath of the 616, basically the aftermath of Battleworld forming. We open on Peter Parker of 616, main universe Spider-Man, exploring this new Manhattan. He gets into a brief fight with the Serpent Squad before getting a helping hand by the new Ultimates, who are Cloak and Dagger, Ultimate Jessica Drew, and Bombshell, who I'm not quite familiar with. She doesn't play much of a role in this book either. So we have a quick fight with the Serpent Squad before Peter Parker goes back to the Triskeleton or Triskelion. I don't know why I said Triskeleton. Anyway, the Triskelion, where there's a meeting between these kind of two teams of Avengers and just the two big players from the Ultimate Universe and the main Marvel Universe, trying to discover. They both realize, because there's like two of everyone. They realize, okay, something's wrong here, something's off. One of us is not where we're supposed to be, and they have a kind of secret mission in order to restore people to wherever they're supposed to be. We don't know how much they know. They know as much as one of the Tony Starks was poking around in his universe and broke something, causing the universes to crash into each other. But we're not sure if they know about the Ultimate Universe. If they're like completely separate universes, or if they're from separate districts. It's a bit messy. And a lot of this book is talking and them trying to figure out, okay, what do we do about this? And there's infighting, of course, conflicts of personalities and all that, even between the two Tony Starks, who, of course, argue with each other. Yeah, and that's where this book is kind of heading, I guess, with these two teams of Avengers figuring out why are they both here, what's going on. And of course, them kind of questioning the natural order of things, or the natural order of things is against Doom's Law. So at the end of the book, we're treated to the Thor Corps raining down upon them, trying to, I guess, correct them or whatever they're want to do about these secret conversations about returning one person to their right universe. Anywho. Yeah, like I said, this book is a little bit of a mess. We're not exactly clear what everybody knows, what's going on, how long has this been going on. But it's definitely an interesting kind of setup they got going. I'm going to continue to read this, if only because I trust Brian Michael Bendis with this sort of story, and because this seems to be the most I'll see of main universe Peter Parker Spider-Man, and of course he's my favorite character, and I'm always interested to see what he's up to. Also, Miles Morales, dead center on the cover. He promises to show up, and I love me some Miles Morales also. And I do want to find out, now that all these characters are basically sharing an island. Well, they're two of them are each sharing Manhattan. What's going to go on? Interesting kind of things in the pot, waiting to see how they boil, I guess, is a weird idiom way to phrase that. So, yeah, that's Ultimate End, #1. And the last book from Marvel this week that I am reading is Battleworld, or Secret Wars Battleworld, issue #1. This seems to be an anthology book, so in this issue we get two stories, one Soldier Supreme, and the other is MODOK Madness. The first one is about... The first one's basically an extended fight between a Doctor Strange-possessed 2099 Frank Castle. So the body of Frank Castle from 2099 with the magic powers of Doctor Strange versus a demon Hulk, demon Wolverine, even more so demon Ghost Rider and demon Spider-Man. And it's a really badass fight scene. Frank Castle Strange really does hold his own with an arsenal of mystic weaponry against basically everybody. He kicks a lot of ass, and it's a really well done fight scene. Really cool stuff going on with an ending. That's not quite an ending. What looks to be a sacrifice isn't as much of a sacrifice as we're given to believe. But yeah, really cool stuff going on with all these universes crashing into each other and seeing everything that can be done in this sort of story. And then the next story is called MODOK Madness, and that's pretty much all you need to know. I'm just going to show you one page and let you decide if you want the book, because I think it's all you're going to need to base your decision off of. MODOK summons a whole bunch of other MODOKs, and then madness happens. Either that sells you on this book or it doesn't, to be completely honest. It sold me. Kind of funny stuff, having all these MODOKs bickering with each other, deciding who's the smartest. So yeah, that's what you're getting out of MODOK Madness. A whole bunch of MODOKs. I found it quite enjoyable, to say the least. And that is Secret Wars Battleworld #1. And that is it for the Marvel books this week. If you're interested in what I thought of the DC Convergence stories, those are in part 1 of this video, which can be found on my channel. If you want to, if you care about my opinions on any other of these comic books week to week to week, feel free to subscribe and have them delivered to your subscription feed. Absolutely no charge. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Any comments or whatever, feel free to leave them down below. And yeah, thank you for watching, and hope you'll join me next time.